on something that you thought wasn't going to impact you as much as it ended up doing so? Well, let's face it, the results that you got are nothing compared to what you could have gotten if you planned ahead of time. When we get older and don't nearly have as much energy as we do now to keep working, we would love to have a reliable source of income. That's when retirement starts to creep in, and time is precious. According to CNBC in 2017, 41% of millennials haven't even started or even thought about starting their retirement plan. That is 2/5 of all Americans that are 17 to 35 years old. First, I will tell you why baby boomers are unable to retire, and second, why saving money at an early age with smart planning is important. First off, according to Jordan and Sullivan of the Washington Post, 1/5 of baby boomers are still working due to unsuccessful retirement planning. They didn't even contribute to their 401k and didn't even bother to look into the sources that were readily available to them. Richard Daver is one of them, and he shared his experience with the Washington Post. Richard is 74 years old, living in Maine, working at a campground. Common campground work includes litter pickup, bathroom maintenance, cleaning campsites, cutting grass, and even having to report suspicious activity at late times at night. When you're 74 years old, your body isn't the same as it is now. Richard had to move 1,400 miles from his home state of Indiana to get that temporary minimum wage job. No one wanted to hire him. And because of what? Because he didn't plan his retirement accordingly to his needs. 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every single day. Social Security has lost 33% of its purchasing power since the year 2000. Baby boomers were making 20% more money at that time in comparison to millennials now. Not many of them put their money aside because they just simply didn't expect to live past the age of 65. Now, experts are telling people to plan to live well into their 80s due to our medical advances. Imagine how medically advanced we will be in the next 30 years and how behind we'll be in our retirement planning. Now we know why baby boomers are unable to retire. Next, I'll explain why millennials should start retirement planning early. Invest into a retirement savings account and emergency savings account. With smart planning, at an early age will save you lots of stress later in life. According to Lutz from Forbes in 2017, millennials should put about 25% of their allowances into their retirement account. It sounds like a lot of money, but it is doable when you do use smart spending. You have to prioritize your debts and track your spending. Pay your high interest loan debt first and work yourself down the line. Only buy what you need. Don't go and buy an expensive pair of Yeezy shoes just because they're the newest ones in a new color. When you have 30 other pairs of Yeezy shoes that you can easily use. The FINRA suggests that opening an emergency savings and 401k or individual retirement account. Individual retirement account is IRA. You have to tackle your debts such as student loan debts and car debts simultaneously as well. An emergency savings account is useful because so that the money that it's into your retirement account won't be used for anything else. Car accidents happen once you hit the road at any time. You are also more vulnerable to health complications once you get older. Student debt is among the highest in millennials compared to any other generation. 45% of students have student loan debts. 52 millennials engage in expensive credit spending, damaging their credit score. 38% have used high-interest, non-bank borrowing vehicles. 6 months ago when I started my new job, my coworker John, who is 72 years old, approached me while I was on lunch. He asked me where I was on my retirement planning. Well, I told him I do have a 401k and I have life insurance that my family can have if something were to ever happen to me. He told me about his personal experience. John was ready to retire when he was 60. But his son had an unexpected accident, a car accident that left him paralyzed from the neck down. His son was divorced, had no kids, and was constantly in and out of jail. So he had no emergency savings, no retirement savings. So John, being the caring and forgiving father that he is, paid his medical bills with the retirement money that he had for himself and sold his house. So now John is unable to retire, and he's still working. Him and his wife have to be with his son 24/7 for him to eat, to bathe him, and take him to his doctor's appointments. And they're 72 years old. So one thing that John always told me that will always stick to me is to always be prepared for the worst, and when it happens, make sure you have a strategy. In conclusion, we now know why 1/5 of baby boomers are unable to retire and why saving money at an early age is important. We know about the current struggles that baby boomers face when it comes to retirement. So stop procrastinating on important projects that involve your life. Plan now and you will be successful.